This is Matt with the Dice of the Round Table, and this is a roundtable discussion. And with me is
Jesse Carpus.
also from the Dice of the Round Table, my wife.
So there was a glitch with the sound in the video, so I had to cut that out and inserting this. So the topic for today is Cthulhu games, and back to the original video.
So don't forget to like the video if you appreciate it, leave comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So today, what brings us on is Elder Signs, Eldritch Horror, Arkham Horror, Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition. So, and yes, they're all FFG games. We have nothing to do with FFG games. However, we do enjoy the Call of Cthulhu games. So, why do you like them?
Ooh, I like the investigative, having to go find stuff and kind of exploring the areas and discovering things. I like playing the investigators and the fact that the game kind of like has a time frame because you have to do certain things before the gods awaken. So you can't just go and explore, forever. So knowing what to do and making those decisions.
Mine's randomness.
Randomness.
Yes. I know that every single one of them builds to a climax with the summoning of the Elder God, but there's also all the randomness because you don't know.
That's true.
Mansions has the rooms that can set up differently even though you play the same scenario. And you also don't know who's going to get hurt during the Mythos phase. Arkham, same deal. It's got the tokens and the cards and all the things that can go wrong. Elder Signs we played, that has the randomness of do we succeed with the dice rolls? So, okay. Do you need all these different Cthulhu games?
No.
Why?
Okay. So the only one I don't like is Eldritch Horror. And that's because it's epic. And I don't like the epic feel. Cthulhu always takes place in a very small area or town, and it focuses on specific characters and people within the setting. So Eldritch is too epic for me. But the rest of them, they kind of feel similar. It just depends on what you like. If you just like the theme, then yeah, it's fun to vary it up and play the different ways and have one's dice, one's specific characters in the town and a map, and the other one's inside of buildings. So they all have a different feel. So it depends on what you like.
So, I agree Eldritch Horror is too epic. I definitely feel like from when it was published a couple years ago, it really felt a really good niche. We've never done 2nd edition Arkham Horror. Arkham Horror 3rd edition is what we have.
Yes.
That one's awesome because it is a small area of the city. Mansions, I mean, we've tried to do one of the really big epic ones, and we just couldn't finish it. We just didn't find the time to finish it. So it's always isolated to a building usually, or a really small neighborhood with an alley. And
see, I like playing that with new people because it's always fun to expose them to the different situations and let them make some of the decisions. Because even though the series change every time, they're kind of similar, but it's always fun to play with new people. I like that.
Well, okay, so if we're talking about Mansions, one, the intro scenario, we've played that multiple times, and we've figured out there's about four different ways it goes. It always ends like the same way, but where the final fight happens is a different part of the house, and the house setup can be different.
True. Because we had that one where the one time we had the collector's text statues, and the other time we didn't, and it completely changed the game.
Not in the intro.
Or not in the intro. That
was a different one.
That was one of the other scenarios.
One we've done is the angry mob going around the shop / hotel.
We've lost most times.
That one's interesting, and it's just there's an angry mob that shows up. It just goes around the building. Don't get in the way. But that one, they've changed the location of where a couple things are in that. So that one tends not to be very random because you kind of know what you need to do or where to be for the story to evolve. But it was nice to see that they moved a couple things in that scenario.
And where you found some of the key items changed up too.
Yeah. So Oh, you don't have the card game. You don't have the last hour, the newest Cthulhu. Do you need them?
No, I don't. I'm happy.
Do you want something that plays faster?
No, not really.
Okay, so when we say faster, even Elder Signs, the dice game, you're still looking about an hour to 2 hours to play.
Our first game took us about an hour and a half.
So this one still can be a little lengthy, especially depending on who you're playing as and how the dice roll. Arkham Horror is about 2 to 3.
Yep.
Mansions depends on the scenario. Eldritch, we played that in under 3, our first time. We have played the card game. What was your thoughts on the card game?
It was just too similar
To
Arkham Horror. I believe it was. I remember.
Because that was the one with the cards that were rooms.
It's cards that were rooms, and you had the characters, but you had to defeat certain things to unlock certain things, and it didn't have the flow of going from, like, in Mansions of Madness, if you go into a room, there's a door to get you into another room, and you have to backtrack the same way. The cards just didn't have that investigative feel to it. It was more like just flipping cards.
It aggravated me for one reason, was some of the management over, what was it, the flashlight?
Yes.
And the action mechanics to balance getting things done and then trying to get clues. Some of the starting equipment, how they did that was interesting. But we have Mansions, and we just decided we're going to double down on that, and that's where we're happy with. The newest one, Final Hour, has some dice and some stuff, and it's supposed to be a faster gameplay, but Elder Signs at least has more dice.
It does, and I like the fact that you don't have to worry about what dice. You don't need a card to tell you how many dice to roll, because you just roll everything that's available to you. If it's locked up on a card, that's something else, or if you need to purchase the two, but for the most part, all the dice, you get to roll them every time.
So, which one's your favorite?
I don't know. I'm actually torn between Arkham Horror and Mansions of Madness. I like Mansions because of the app and the fact that it keeps track of everything for you, and it does change up the scenario every time. I like Arkham Horror just because, I don't know, it's just, I like the cityscape and going to the different parts of the books that I've read, because I've read some of the Cthulhu stuff, so it's just kind of like being able to go to the Miskatonic University is really cool, which is not in Mansions of Madness yet.
If I had my choice, Mansions, when it came out, was really awesome and sweet. We bought into some of the expansions. What I really want to do is take the miniatures from Mansions and put it into Arkham Horror.
Ooh,
I really... the only thing is Arkham Horror, this is not getting into all the mechanics, but Arkham Horror's monsters, you need to have the card face down so you don't know necessarily what's going to happen to you. But Arkham Horror, I really like some of the equipment cards, and some of the characters get some really interesting combinations, like the police officer or the Tommy gun guy, an enforcer, because he can run over things with his car. I also like the damage mitigation, so you can put that on equipment and allies.
Yes.
It'd be interesting if they had that mechanic brought into Mansions eventually. Again, we don't have the newest expansions for Mansions, so if that's in there, please put an asterisk in it. But yeah, would you ever consider jumping into a miniatures game of Call of Cthulhu?
No.
Why?
I don't like miniatures. Just, that's not me.
I would, but I have a hard time because I feel like a Cthulhu essence for the board game, you need someone to be an overlord, and it has to be a narrative.
Well, in miniature gaming, it's usually opponent versus opponent, whereas in this, they're usually all cooperative. You're working together to investigate. So, and I like cooperative games, so...
And I just bring that up because I know War Cradle's coming out with Mythos, and there's a couple other ones out there with miniatures with Cthulhu stuff they're trying to do games for. But an RPG, would you do an RPG?
Maybe. Yeah, I could see that.
again, going with the theme, it has to be heavy narrative because it's a hard time imagining Cthulhu being anything but narrative.
Unless he's summoned, but yeah.
Right. So, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I love Cthulhu. I'm not even sure why. It's just a lot of fun for me. And I meant Cthulhu as in the theme because we've even played the Pandemic Cthulhu, and that was kind of fun.
We didn't even bring that in.
Yeah. Well, we don't own it. We played with a friend. But that was still something that I found interesting and fun. And I think it's just, Cthulhu, if you like playing with others in a cooperative way to discover things, they're all great games.
Yeah, and Pandemic Cthulhu, since you brought it up, it was like multiple cities, so it's like a cross between Eldritch and Arkham.
And instead of viruses, you had to close the gates and you had to move. But
if I had my choice, I would do Elder Signs over Cthulhu Pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
I think that had a little bit more fun in it. Pandemic Cthulhu was okay. It was well done for what it is. Just was missing something for me.
As old as it is, it's kind of like at the beginning of the.
No.
It's
only a couple years old as of this recording in 2020. That was like 3 years old.
I thought it was older.
No. Either way, my final thoughts is I think Arkham Horror, they're really tweaking the Cthulhu system from FFG. So Arkham Horror 3rd edition is one of my favorites. I know Cthulhu May Die from Simon is out there, but that I think brings the miniatures to an Arkham Horror type thing, but it's more a zombie side aspect. So a little bit more tactical, where this is definitely narrative. I know there can be some variety, but that's Call of Cthulhu, and thanks for watching.